All right, my name is Andrew Ward. Welcome to another episode of Can I Say Something? I am excited to be talking to Robert Lambertino today. If you don't know the name, you've probably seen the video. It's popped up on Instagram, TikTok, all the social media apps. Robert's dropped some really good facts and knowledge that I think a lot of times we may hear along the ways, but as the world gets crazy and busy, we sometimes forget it. And, sometimes you just need to hear a good voice return the message, whether you hear it for the first time or many times before, and it just kind of resparks. So Robert, man, thanks for taking part. Welcome to the show, and thanks for taking time. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Long work day today. Fresh on a Monday, 10-hour day. But I'm excited to be here and excited to talk.
Jesus, man. Yeah, you're a fellow South Jersey, and then I'm now based in New York, but originally from South Jersey. You're in the working in the Clementon area, is that right?
The company I work for, our service area is Princeton to Cape May and River to Ocean.
Jeez, you're driving all over the place.
I was in Trenton, then Princeton today.
Dude, well, I appreciate you taking time even more to be a part of the show, man. I would not have a clear brain after work. I kind of half-assed it today just to prep for this, so I appreciate you for being sharp after a 10-hour day, even more so.
I'm fortunate enough to have enough experience and to know what I'm doing enough where it just kind of runs in the background so long as nothing goes wrong. So I get a lot of time to just think throughout the day.
Nice. What are some of those things that you're usually kicking around in your head?
The normal stuff that you'd expect. What am I going to do for dinner? Have I found any new recipes I want to try? I try to go through vocabulary in my head sometimes. I'll just take a famous quote that I heard, or just something I might have heard in passing at a grocery store, and just replace different words in my head, almost like I'm playing Wordle or something, just to see how the situation or the sentence could change, and what meaning can be found by just changing the way you look at something.
Interesting. And I want to dive more into those sort of things too. But before we go too deep into it, like I said, the video I don't know YouTube rules, so go click the link down below to watch the full video of what made Robert a little bit more well known on these philosophies and views here. But I want to talk about just how things got set up with the video first. Some people say these are all planned videos; these are actually real live moments. How did it all come together? You were kind of giving me a little bit of insight right before we started recording, but can you kind of walk through how this video came together?
I was just at the mall. I had a fishing trip the next day with my dad and little brother. I needed a hat and sunglasses so I didn't get burnt and so I could see. CG3 approached me in the mall and just said, "Hey, could I interview you for my Instagram?" I wasn't doing anything, so I said, "Yeah, why not?" He tried to do all the normal stuff. If you've ever seen his content, it's a lot of normal Instagram, social media type interviews. Finish the lyric, what would you do if you woke up as a woman, all the normal entertainment things you'd expect. And he plays that stone-faced guy where he's just letting the interviewee speak for themselves in all his content. He must have tried 8 or 9 shots because we were right off the food court, and he was just getting really frustrated that people kept walking into the shot. And I didn't even know he was still recording then, so I just spoke because I mean, you can't expect people to pay super close attention to everything going on in the mall. It's chaos. It's pandemonium.
Yeah,
so
especially in Jersey.
Yeah, I just spoke, and whatever I thought would help the situation is what I said.
Nice, man. So are you usually dropping pearls of wisdom like that, or is that just kind of one that came off the cuff?
That's a weird question to answer to me because I'm not a very extroverted person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really go out of my way to insert myself in a conversation. But if it's somebody I know, or even just somebody I'm acquainted with, and I think I have something that could add value or enrich their lives, I'll tend to offer my opinion or ask if they want my help.
I approve. Yeah, I can kind of understand that. I'm a little bit of like an ambivert, I would say, a little bit more leaning on the introversion side. So either you kind of I guess in that moment you felt compelled to to say it in that moment, as maybe you wouldn't have always said it in other moments.
Yeah, like if I wasn't part of the moment, I probably would have just said it to my girlfriend or whoever I was walking with, and not to the interviewer or to somebody I wasn't already engaged with.
Gotcha. So did you know CG3 before that? Like when he came up to you, did you know of his like social media work? Oh, okay.
Nope. Other than like Reddit, which who doesn't use Reddit today, I tend to shy away from social media because it's very much so an echo chamber of what you want people to see. And that's not always the whole picture.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, I feel conflicted about that. A lot of my work in the media means having to work in social media, and it is not the most ideal place for your mental state or just for, like you said, information sourcing. You can very easily silo what you want to find and kind of, divert from the rest of the information that you can find.
Yes, very easily.
Yeah, and so what happened with the video? Like, how long was it after the filming that you guys kind of did it get posted, and like, did you start getting notice from people? How'd that all come
So
about?
that was recorded Memorial Day weekend. Uh, I gave him my phone number because he said, "Hey, I'll let you know if anything happens with it." Because I didn't have any at the time. I had a TikTok that I used just to like follow a handful of friends that posted stuff. So I thought nothing of it. I mean, who expects something to go viral, especially when you're just stopped randomly in the mall?
Right. Yeah.
Um, Probably 5, 6 days later, he reached out and said, "Yo, that video is going insane. You need to make an Instagram." And I was at work at the time, so I just texted him back. I'm like, "I'll look into it. I don't have any profile pictures. I'll have to take a picture or two." So he just took some shots from the video, edited them down, made me a picture, sent it to me. So I just set everything up while I was on break at work, and then he
Wow.
reposted it so he could tag me in it and I could start growing.
And now you got 15 some odd thousand followers on Instagram alone, and all this sort of a following, man. And how's that feel? How's that affected you, or has it affected you at all?
It's affected me because I don't feel like I said anything profound. Maybe it's just because it's the way I live my life. These are things I expect of me, not what I expect of everybody. So it feels really weird to have thousands of people saying, "Thank you so much for this." And I'm like, what did I do?
Right. I'm just a guy who said something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But with so many people outpouring support and saying, "This helped me. I needed to hear this. How can I apply this?" It's just encouraged me to keep doing more. And it's rough when I'm doing 50, 60 hours a week, girlfriend. I mean, you can see the laundry on the bed still.
Right. You got a lot juggling. That's
Yep.
why I got a screen right now. You'd see a bunch of crap behind me. So yeah, I'm right with you there, man. And I'm not even on your level. Like, that's the thing that I think is really interesting. Is like I said, it's not as this is something I think you hear. This isn't the first time you've heard this when this video came up, but I was just like, wow, like, be it the algorithm or the way life is going, like I feel like a lot of people needed to hear it or wanted to hear it at that time. And like you said, maybe as they were siloing it and looking for those answers, or maybe that was forcing something in to break it up or whatever. But it really did seem to resonate with a whole lot of people really
It,
quickly.
I think part of it is that a handful of influential people or people in positions with a following shared it, and then it just exploded outward. Um, Even when CG3 told me it was going huge, I pictured maybe a couple thousand people. Because to me, that's huge, especially if we're, again,
Sure.
just somebody that stops you in the mall. I have a couple of friends that live in Philadelphia that are way more involved in social media, and they called me, and it's the first time in years I've had an actual like phone call with them, not Discord or anything. They actually called me, which I thought somebody got run over, and they
Right.
said, "Yo, load up your Twitter. Dextro just reposted you, the gaming magazine." And I said, "You're kidding me?" No, they did. Sure enough, they did. So
Shit.
it went from just like, you know, what I would expect out of the greater Camden area for social media to an international gaming magazine. I think CBS picked it up at one point. It went
Yeah.
beyond crazy.
Like I know, like I'm acting like an old head here because I don't use any of the new social media platforms, but even on Instagram alone, swiping through, you were seeing millions of reposts from it. Like I got served that video probably like a good 25 times, and I was like, I like this video. Now I need to go talk to this dude. It seems like everyone loves it. Like I want to go link up. So,
I
where did that philosophy come from, man? Is that just like, have you always been
I
that way in
I
your
have
life? You were you taught it? How did it come about? And, or,
so
a harder question, but how did it come about? Sorry, I keep
I
cutting you off.
used to be, and I still am to a degree, but I used to be a really, really cynical person. The world is out to get you. The world's not a fair place. It's all bull. Can I curse here?
Yeah, go for it.
It's all bullshit. Everybody's out to get you. Nobody fucking cares. And if you really look at the world just as a broad thing, that's true. It's the economy of scale. When you get bigger and bigger, it's easy to lose the details. But as I started to interact more with individuals, not people, but individuals, they care. They just don't have the energy to do it. They're too consumed with what they have to do. They didn't, I worked at McDonald's for a time. It wasn't that they didn't clean it to mess with my shift. They just didn't have time. They had to get their kids. They had other things going on. It wasn't a personal slight. They just either didn't know or couldn't do it.
Right.
And I think it's worth mentioning the original philosophy of Hanlon's razor uses stupidity instead of incompetence.
Hmm.
And I don't think there's many people in the world that I would just straight up say are stupid. There's people that aren't good at things, and there are people that aren't aware of things, but everybody has something they're passionate about and they're good at.
Right.
So maybe you're in a situation where it's just not their thing, and that's not a dig on them. And even if they are incompetent at what they're doing, that's not an insult. You can't expect everybody to be good at everything.
Exactly. Yeah, especially, sorry to cut you off there, but yeah, like, especially when it comes into more, minute situations. But, like, I think, certain subjects, as you go in deeper and deeper, like in cannabis, a lot of times I see it in my world, people get really mad when you don't understand these things. And it's like, we're in really pretty deep into a nerdy subject here, man. It's not everyone's going to know this, but if you take it into, what their specialty is or their forte is, they're going to be able to show you a world of, information just like you can do to them if you, kind of approach them from a different perspective.
I think the world of cannabis is one that's on the brink of